room of steady lights are low, no sun moving soft or slow. The day stayed outside the door. It doesn't reach me anymore. The message waiting on the screen, no unfinished space between. The clock keeps time but doesn't press. The night feels calm, the air feels set. I learned to listen for a need, even when it wasn't there. I stay prepared for every call, every moment, every care. But this hour stands as ground, nothing pulls me in or out. I don't feel late, I don't feel small. I don't feel owned by it at all. I stayed right here and felt no rush. Nothing is asking me tonight, nothing needs my reply. I don't have to hold the light, I'll keep myself in time. Nothing is asking me tonight, I can let the moment stay. I'm safe inside this space where nothing needs my me. There were days I filled the space just to feel I had a place. I thought being needed proved that I was doing something right. Now I see another truth, rest can also be a choice. Peace arrives when silence stays and doesn't ask me for a voice. Nothing is asking me tonight, I don't need to give a thing. I can send with how I feel, that I'll still listen. Nothing is asking me tonight, I'm enough the way I stand. I don't need to earn this calm, it was already in my. Rain feels steady where I stand, no pull from far, close at hand. The outside moves goes at its own pace, but nothing reaches this small space. We share the wall, the open floor, all feel enough, nothing more. I've noticed how the moment stays without reminding me of time. I used to feel the world was near, waiting for me to respond. 'Cause if delaying and letting go of something I should hold, now I sense another truth. Some hours don't belong to rush. They open wide when left alone, and give back more than they take from us. I stayed right here, felt no need. The world can wait here just for now. Nothing pulling me away. I don't need the answer time. I let it pass my way. The world can wait here, calm and wide. I'm safe inside this place. I don't owe the moment more. I say please stay present. Space is meant for rest. Don't ask how long we last, and meet you when you're finally stop, and you send hold of what has passed. I don't feel gone or left behind. Don't feel small or late. I feel the ground beneath my feet. Let the rest all wait. The world can wait here just for now. I'm steady where nothing calling out my name, nothing in my hands. The world can wait here, calm and still. I live the moment still. The room was still when I stood up. The day felt open, calm enough. No sound was asking me to move. No thought was telling me to choose. The window held a steady light. Nothing felt ahead or behind. I stayed a moment longer there and felt my shoulders start to ease. I spent so long staying prepared for moments that were never there. I carried things I couldn't name just to feel I earned my place. I thought that strength meant holding tight, never setting anything aside. But something changed when I stood still and let my hands relax at last. I felt the ground hold me steady. I set the weight down where I stand. I don't need it in my hands. I carried more than I was meant. Now I let the tension in. I set the weight down, feel the flow. It holds me just like before. Nothing missing, nothing lost, just breathing without the cost. Some things leave without a sign. They fade when given space and time. No sound, no lesson left behind, just a softer state of mind. I don't need every answer clear. I don't need to stay prepared. This moment doesn't ask a thing. It lets me rest inside the now. I set the weight down where I stand. Let the minutes pass me by. I don't owe the past my strength. I don't need to justify. I set the weight down, stay right here. Nothing pulling at my name. For once the day is light enough, and I can hold it just the same. I set the weight down, stay right here. Nothing pulling at my name. For once the day is light enough, and I can hold it just the same. The lights are low, the chair stands still, no voices moving through the hall. The day is finished saying things and left no echo on the walls. A cup still warm beside the sink. The clock keeps time without a sound. Nothing waiting to be done. The room feels settled all around. I used to listen for a need, even when the night was clear, as if the quiet meant I missed something I was meant to hear. But now the stillness feels complete. It doesn't ask me to respond. I don't feel late, I don't feel gone. I feel like I belong right here. I let the moment stay just as it is. This is the room after everyone slept. Nothing left to explain. I don't need to hold the space or call anybody's name. This is the room after everyone slept, and I'm still here inside. I don't need to fix the day. I can let the silence guide. Some peace arrives when nothing moves, when all the noise has had its say. Not every moment needs a mark, not every thought needs its place. I'm learning rest can stand alone, without a reason, without proof. This calm doesn't belong to time, it just exists, and so do I. This is the room after everyone slept, and I don't need to leave. Nothing calling out for me, nothing pulling at my feet. This is the room after everyone slept. I let the night remain. I don't need to add a thing to feel the ground beneath my frame.
Windows open just enough, the air feels steady, calm and soft. No pressure hanging in the room, no sense of needing to improve. The day arrives without demand, no future pulling at my hand. I stand here longer than I planned, and feel my shoulders finally drop. Used to breathe like time was short, like every pause would cost me more. As if the moment I stood still, I'd fall behind what I should be. But now my chest feels wide and clear, the rhythm slow, the ground is near. I don't need speed to feel okay, I don't need force to stay away. I let the moment settle inside my frame. I breathe better than before, nothing tight around my chest. I don't hold the weight I did, I finally let myself rest. I breathe better than before, the air feels honest, calm and true. I don't rush the next second, I just stay with what I feel. There were days I held my breath, waiting for a sign or a shift, as if peace would only come after something else was fixed. Now I see it differently. Calm doesn't need a reason why, it finds me when I let it in, and don't ask more of time. I breathe better than before, nothing chasing after me. I don't need to brace myself for what the moment's meant to be. I breathe better than before, standing still feels safe and clear. I don't owe the world my rush, I'm allowed to linger here. light stays soft across the floor. No sharp lines asking me for more. The walls held still, the room felt kind. Nothing pressed against my mind. The day moved slow without a sound. No sense of falling short or down. Noticed how the shadows lay, and didn't turn my eyes away. I used to brace for every turn, as if calm was something earned. Like peace would leave if I looked away, took too long to get in my way. But this hour didn't rush, didn't fade or make a fuss. It stayed with me, steady and near, and felt enough just being here. I didn't reach, I didn't hide. The light stayed soft, I stayed inside. This calm that doesn't ask me why. I don't need more to feel okay. I let the moment choose to stay. The light stayed soft, the time stayed wide. Nothing pulling at my side. I don't need proof, I don't need speed. This space is all I need. Here without a name, they don't arrive through force or change. They meet you when you slow your pace, and let them settle into place. I'm learning not to rush the calm or turn it into something else. It holds its shape when left alone, and leaves me stronger than before. The light stayed soft, the room stayed clear. I didn't move, I stayed right here. Nothing missing, nothing wrong, just time enough to carry on. The light stayed soft and so did I let the minutes pass me by. No need to chase, no need to prove. I stayed with what was true. Room feels open, nothing tight. The air sits easy in the light. No sense of gripping what might change. No need to frame another day. The minutes pass without a push. The world stays gentle, stays enough. I watch the seconds find their place and let them move at their own pace. I used to pause and hold the scene, afraid of losing what it meant, as if the calm would slip away the moment I look somewhere else. But peace grows tired when it's held. It softens more when left alone. I feel it settle in my chest when I don't ask it to stay. I loosen my hands, stay. No more holding the moment still. I let it come, I let it go. I don't need to keep this calm to feel it in my bones. No more holding the moment tight. I trust the way it moves. What stays with me is real enough without me forcing truth. Some things live through letting pass. They breathe when not explained. They find their strength in open space, not locked inside a name. I'm learning ease has its own time. It doesn't ask for proof. It meets me when I stop the reach and stand inside the truth. No more holding the moment still. I let it rest, I let it move. Nothing fragile slips away when I allow it room. No more holding the moment tight. I stay where I am found. The calm I feel is strong enough without my hands around. No more holding the moment still. I let it rest, I let it move. Nothing fragile slips away when I allow it room. No more holding the moment tight. I stay where I am found. The calm I feel is strong enough without my hands around.
The sky moves slowly past the glass. No rush for what was coming next. The room grew dim in gentle ways. Nothing asked me to be fast. The chair stayed still, the floor felt warm. The day loosened its hold on me. I noticed how the light grew low. Didn't try to change a thing. I used to treat the end of daylight something slipping through my hands, as if the dark meant I was late or missed the point of all my plans.
Now the evening feels complete. It doesn't rush, it doesn't leave. It waits with me without a sound and lets me rest where I am. I stop the reaching, stay. I let the evening stay with me. I don't push it away. I don't need to fill the space. I let the silence stay. Let the evening stay right here. Nothing left to prove. I don't owe the night a thing. I let it move me through. There was a time I hurried on, afraid of what the quiet meant. As if stillness asked too much, showed me what I never said. But now I trust the slowing down, the way the dark feels calm and wide. Some peace arrives when I don't run, and let the evening take its time. I let the evening stay with me. No plans beyond this place. I don't need tomorrow now. I'm fine with this small space. I let the evening stay right here. I breathe and let it be. Nothing pulling at my name. Just calm surrounding me. Room mode still, the lights stay low. No signal telling me to go. The clock moves on without demand. The moment rests just where I am. A chair, a wall, a steady floor. Nothing knocking at the door. I notice how the silence feels. It doesn't ask, it simply stays. I used to think being okay had to sound like something more, like peace would come with louder signs or answers I was waiting for. But now I hear another truth. It doesn't shout or need a name. It sounds like breathing without strain. It sounds like nothing feeling wrong. I stayed with it and listened. This is the sound of being okay. Nothing sharp, nothing loud. No need to fix the way I feel. I'm steady where I am now. This is the sound of being okay. No pressure in my chest. I don't need more to feel complete. This calm is doing the rest. Calm is doing the rest. Some moments speak by staying still. They don't arrive through change or proof. They meet you when you stop the search and let them show their shape to you. I don't need every fear resolved. I don't need every edge explained. I feel the ground beneath my feet, that alone is enough. This is the sound of being okay. I don't need to push or try. I let the minutes let myself be fine. This is the sound of being okay. Nothing calling me to leave. I stay with what is here right now and let it carry me.
The clock kept moving on its own. No pressure in the hours shown. The morning passed without a race. The day stayed kind, the pace felt safe. No sound reminding me to run. No second lost, no moment won. I noticed time didn't leave. It stayed wide open, calm and clean. I used to feel each minute close, like time was always almost gone. As if slowing down would mean I failed to keep the future strong. But now the hours feel like space. They don't arrive with sharp demand. I don't feel chased by what comes next. Feel the ground where I now stand. I stayed inside this open pace. Time didn't push me today, let me move my way. I didn't fall behind the hours, I stayed where I could stay. Time didn't push me today, nothing pulling at my side. I don't need speed to feel okay, I let the minutes glide. Ask for less and give more back in return. They show me rest is not a pause, but something solid I can learn. I don't need to outrun time, hold the future in my hands. I let the moment keep its shape and trust it knows where I am. Time didn't push me today, I didn't need to hurry through. I stood with how the moment felt and let it carry me. Time didn't push me today, I stayed calm and aware.
fit. Time didn't push me morning open like a door, no signal pointing where to go. The light came in, the room stood still. Nothing promised, nothing owed. I sat a while without a plan, no thought asking for a move. The minutes passed like they belonged, right where they were, right where I stood. I used to watch for something clear, a moment telling me it's time, as if the calm would only come after a reason or a sign. But peace arrived when I stood down, when I stopped asking what comes next. The quiet didn't need approval, it was enough just being felt. I stayed with now, let it be. I stopped waiting for a sign, I don't need one anymore. I trust the ground beneath my feet, I trust this open door. I stopped waiting for a sign, nothing missing, nothing late. I don't need proof to feel at ease, I choose this moment space. Some answers come without a sound, they settle in when left alone. They don't arrive through force or rush, they grow when gently known. I don't need clarity tonight, I don't need the path ahead. I feel the calm I'm standing in, and let it guide my step. I stop waiting for a sign, I'm steady where I stand, nothing calling me away. I feel the day unwind. I stopped waiting for a sign and found what I was in. This calm was never somewhere else, it's always been within. I stopped waiting for a sign, I'm steady where I stand, nothing calling me away. I feel the day unwind. I stopped waiting for a sign and found what I was in. This calm was never somewhere else, it's always been within. Door closed gently on its own, no sound to mark where I had been. The room stayed still, the light stayed warm, nothing followed me back in.
no weight behind the fine plate, no thought asking what it meant. The moment settled where it stood and asked for nothing else from keep. Used to feel the end of things, as if each close meant something lost, like leaving meant I missed a turn or paid a hidden cost. Now I feel another truth. Some endings come with quiet grace. They leave the air a little wide and give the heart more space. I didn't look back, I stayed. Was on, nothing taken, nothing gone. I don't need to hold the past to keep my footing strong. The door closed gently, I stood still, felt the ground remain. Some things in the way they should and leave behind more pain. Not every coast needs words or signs. Not every change needs time to heal. Some moments finish naturally and show you what is real. I don't need reasons or repairs. I don't need one last stand. Feel the calm has followed me and let it take my hand. The door closed gently, I'm still here. Nothing shaking, nothing wrong. I don't need to reopen it to know where I belong. The door closed gently, day moves on. Breathe and let it be.
stood there longer than I planned. The room felt open, steady, plain. No question hanging in the air, no reason forming to be said. The light moved softly on the wall. The moment asked for nothing more. I felt complete without a word. Stayed right where I was before. I used to shape my thoughts in lines, just in case I need them soon. As if being understood was something I had to prove. But now the quiet feels enough. It doesn't ask me to defend. I don't feel wrong for letting go of what I thought I had to send. I stayed with truth, without a sound. I didn't need to explain what I was feeling inside. Justify. I didn't need to explain. I let the moment stand. Some things feel right without a word, and that's where I am. There were times I filled the space so no one would misunderstand. But calm arrives when I let go of holding sense in my hands. I don't hold meaning to the air. I don't know answers to the day. I feel the ground beneath my feet, and that is enough to stay. I didn't need to explain. I'm steady where I stand. Nothing missing, nothing wrong. I know who I am. I didn't need to explain the calm I found within. Some truths arrive and quietly stay when I let them in. I didn't need to explain. The light came in without a sound. The house felt steady all around. No voice was calling out my name, no reason waiting to be late. The floor felt cool beneath my feet. The moment stayed where I could breathe. No list was forming in my head. The day arrived but gently stayed. I used to wake with something tight, as if the hours chased my time. Every step already planned, every thought already ran. But this morning didn't move. Nothing asked me what to do. I stayed with what was already there and felt the calm return again. I stood still, nothing broke. I didn't rush. let the moment lead the way. I stayed right here, I stayed aware, and felt the weight begin to fade. I didn't rush, I didn't try to turn the hours into more. I let the morning hold its shape, found the ground I missed before. There are things I cannot change, there are thoughts I let pass by. Not every answer needs a name, not every step needs asking why. I've learned that rest can also heal, without a promise or a plan. Some peace arrives when I slow down and meet the day the way I am. I didn't rush into the day, let the silence stay with me. No words to fix, no role to play, just time enough to simply be. I didn't rush, I stayed inside this calm I almost overlooked. For once the day waited for me, and I was ready when it came. The morning felt the same as usual, light on the wall, a steady floor. Nothing followed me inside from what had been before. The room held still, the day stayed open. No sound asking me to choose. I stood a moment feeling clear, with nothing left to prove. I used to carry every part of what had already gone, as if remembering too much was how I stayed strong. But holding on grew heavy and didn't give me more. I felt relieved the moment I set it down at the door. I didn't turn, I stayed. I left the past where it was, I didn't bring it here. I chose the ground beneath my feet instead of yesterday. I left the past where it was, it doesn't follow me. I don't need to carry on what's already free. Some things belong to other days, they don't arrive again. They taught me what they had to teach, then reached their quiet end. I don't feel less for letting go. I don't feel out of place. I feel the calm that comes from now, and give it room to stay. I left the past where it was and stayed with what I feel. Nothing missing, nothing old. This moment feels real. I left the past where it was. I stand right where I am. The ground is steady underneath, and that is more than enough. Where it was and stayed with what I feel. Nothing missing, nothing old. This moment feels real. I left the past where it was. I stand right where I am. The ground is steady underneath, and that is more than enough. The room felt balanced where I stood. No pull to leave, no need to move. The light stayed even on the floor. Nothing asked me for more. The window held a quiet view. No change arriving, nothing new. I noticed how the moments stayed and didn't slip or drift away.
I used to feel the air was thin, like calm could break without a sound, as if one breath too deep would shake the ground beneath me out. But now the space feels wide and short, doesn't bend, it doesn't rush. I stand inside this steady frame and feel the pressure leave my chest.
I stayed still and trusted it. The air felt steady again. I didn't brace myself. I stood with how the moment felt and trusted where I was. The air felt steady again. Nothing sharp, nothing thin. I don't need to hold my breath. I'm safe inside this calm. Some peace arrives without a sound. It doesn't need a reason why. It meets you when you stop the reach and let the moment occupy.
I don't feel fragile standing here. I don't feel close to losing ground. I feel the calm that fills the room and let it settle all around.
The air felt steady again. I stayed right where I am. Nothing pushing, nothing tight. Just ground beneath my hands. The air felt steady again. I let the stillness stay. I don't need more than what I feel to carry me today. The air felt steady again. I stayed right where I am. Nothing pushing, nothing tight. Just ground beneath my hands. The air felt steady again. I let the stillness stay. stayed quiet on its own. No sound reaching for my name. The clock moved forward without weight. The moment felt the same. No light asking me to change, no signal pulling me away. I noticed how the silence stood and didn't need me anyway. I spend my time staying alert, ready to reply or move, as if being needed proved that what I felt was true. But now this hour doesn't lean, it doesn't wait or hold its breath. It stands complete without a word and leaves me free to rest. I stayed right here and felt no pull. Nothing needed my answer, nothing asked me to explain. I don't know the space around me, anything by name. Nothing needed my answer. I can let the moment be. I am safe inside this calm that isn't asking me. There were days I filled the quiet just to feel I had a place. I thought the pause meant something wrong. I thought rest needed a case. Now I see another truth. Stillness doesn't ask for proof. It holds its shape when left alone and gives me room to move. Nothing needed my answer. I don't need to justify. I can sit with what I feel and let the minutes pass me by. Nothing needed my answer. I'm enough the way I stand. I don't need to add a thing to feel the ground beneath my hands. The room stayed still, the light stayed low, nothing telling me to go. The chair felt firm, the floor felt real. I stayed right where I was, no sound waiting for a reply, no moment passing me by. I noticed how the silence held without asking me to move. I used to turn away too fast, afraid of what I'd feel, as if staying with the quiet would make something break or spill. But this feeling didn't rise, didn't ask me to decide. It stayed calm and stayed its size when I let it be what it was. I didn't leave, I stayed. I sat with the feeling push it aside. I let it rest beside me and watch the moment pass. I sat with the feeling, nothing heavy, nothing sharp. I didn't need to change a thing to let the calm arrive. There were times I filled the space just to keep from feeling more. I thought the pause meant something wrong, or asked me to ignore. Now I see another way. Some peace comes when you stay. It doesn't need to be resolved. It softens when it's known. I sat with the feeling, felt the ground beneath, nothing pulling at my name, nothing asking me. I sat with the feeling and let the minutes move. I don't need to run from now. I'm safe inside this truth. I stepped inside and closed the door. The room felt lighter than before. No sound came with me from the street. No weight stayed on my feet. The light was warm, the space was clear. Nothing from the day stayed near. I noticed how the moment held and didn't bring the noise along. I used to carry every hour long after it was done, as if the day would lose its meaning if I didn't bring it home. But now I feel a softer truth. Some things end where they belong. The work, the words, the passing time don't need to come along. I stay right here and felt relief. The day didn't follow me home. I left it where it was. I don't need to hold the hours to know I did enough. The day didn't follow me home. I feel the quiet stay. I'm free inside this steady calm at the close of day. There were nights I couldn't rest, still holding what had passed. I thought letting go meant losing ground or moving on too fast. Now I see another way. Some peace begins at close when you allow the day to end and set the rest down slow. The day didn't follow me home, nothing left to carry through. I don't owe the night my effort, I let the calm come true. The day didn't follow me home, I stand where I can stay. nothing calling me to go. I've done enough today. The day didn't follow me home, nothing left to carry through. I don't owe the night my effort, I let the calm come true. The day didn't follow me home, I stand where I can stay. Nothing calling me to go. I'm done enough today. Stay quiet as it was. No thought reminding me of tasks. The light moves slowly on the wall. Nothing waiting to be done. The chair felt firm, the floor felt sure. The moment didn't rush me on. I noticed how my shoulders dropped without deciding why. I used to rest with one eye open, as if calm had to be breathed. Like stopping and I miss my place. I failed at being needed. But now this pause feels complete. It doesn't bore from tomorrow. I don't feel late, I don't feel wrong. Don't feel less for letting go. I stay right here and let it be. I rested without guilt today. I didn't know the time. My breathing calm. I rested without guilt today. No reason, no defense. I don't need effort to deserve this quiet confidence. I couldn't stop without explaining why. As if rest needed permission just to pass me by. Now I
trust this steady pill, the way the corn rise. Some peace appears when I love, the cause to stay alive. Fell apart. I stayed with what the morning gave, the flood that filled my heart. I rested without you today. I'm steady where
stayed quiet as I sat. No sudden change, no aftermath. The light remained, the floor felt sure. Nothing fragile in the air. The moment held its steady line. No rush to fix, no need to move. I noticed how the silence stayed and didn't ask me what to do. I used to think a pause like this meant something slipped or went wrong, as if calm could only last if I kept holding on. Now I feel a stronger truth. Some pieces built to stay. Doesn't bend or fall apart when nothing's pushed its way. You're staying right here and trusted it. This moment didn't break, but I stopped trying. It didn't fade away, and I stayed still. This moment didn't break, it held its ground. I don't need force to keep it here. It's steady all around. There were times I guarded come like something easy to lose. I thought it needed constant care to stay true. Now I see it stands alone,
without demand. It meets me when I let it be and rest inside its span. This moment didn't break. I'm safe inside its frame. Nothing missing, nothing wrong, nothing left to say. This moment didn't break. I stayed with what I found. The calm I feel is strong enough to hold me where I am. The room feels quiet, steady, clear. No sound asking me to move. The light rests softly where it lands. Nothing waiting to be proved. The day has settled into place. No open ends, no need to rush. Notice how the moment stays and doesn't ask for more from us. I spent so long trying to be everything the time requires. As if standing still would mean I was less than what I tried. But now I feel the calmer truth. I don't need more than where I am. I don't need to add a thing. Feel complete inside my skin. I stayed right here and felt no light. I'm still here and it's enough. Nothing missing from my hands. I don't need to reach for more to know where I stand. I'm still here and it's enough. Sign. I let the moment stay with me and trust this quiet time. There were days I thought the end had to feel like something new. The piece rags more gently
when you let yourself be true. I don't feel late or left behind. I don't feel small or unseen. I feel the ground beneath my feet, and that tells me everything. I'm still here and it's enough. I don't need to justify